2 for 9, you know what I mean? Had 5 turnovers. What we did.
Somebody on Twitter said he had a 7 days of Christmas stat line. 6 points, 5.
I know we ain't supposed to.
He's an influencer playing
Just to
basketball.
call him an influencer.
That's what Gilbert Arenas said that.
When it comes to Bronny James' so-called basketball career, at every single turn this guy's been protected, propped up, and defended by the mainstream sports media. Looking back at his high school days, in college, Summer League, the G League, and of course now the NBA.
Bronny James being drafted by the Lakers is not about nepotism.
12 seconds later.
Bronny James was drafted because LeBron James is great.
That doesn't make sense.
Nowadays in the media, finding genuine basketball takes, it is really tough to come by. And looking at ESPN and one of their longtime analysts, we actually have Brian Windhorst, an ardent LeBron defender. Now, Brian, surprising me out of nowhere, actually gave pushback to Bronny James and his whole fiasco.
From my understanding, he's only going to play in the South Bay Lakers home games. That he's only going to kind of be a part-time G League player. I don't like that. I don't know whose idea it was. Obviously, the Lakers are fine with it. They're doing it. I've now, on this particular instance, I think that's gone too far.
Well, took you long enough.
So stopping Brian right there, the truth finally seeping out ever so slightly. And for someone like Windhorst to say this, it's actually pretty surprising. This guy back in the day covered LeBron James in his crib. If he's mildly critiquing Bronny, you know things are getting pretty bad behind the scenes. And for a lot of these analysts, of course, their takes, they aren't genuine. But still, they want credibility, respect, and just some esteem. Defending Bronny 24/7, defending the fiasco 24/7, I mean, it erodes your credibility extremely fast. And for someone like Windhorst who wants that credibility, defending Bronny, it's not the way to go. And looking at Bronny's actual situation, I guess you guys heard it by now, he has 1 foot in the G League and 1 foot in the NBA. And here's the catch. He's not playing road games.
What?
How about that? Isn't that amazing?
I've never seen a pro athlete in any sport, a low-tier pro athlete, get this type of treatment, be coddled like this by the media as well as his team. I mean, think about this, not playing road games. Essentially, you're coddling a pro athlete, not playing in harsh environments on the road that might be slightly uncomfortable. That right there, that's pathetic. And looking at Bronny's G League debut, I mean, this guy needs all the reps he can get. In this game versus Utah, he wasn't a top 5 player on his own team or a top 10 player in the game. That's how bad he was. Like every point in Bronny's career, his play on the court doesn't really matter. Because their next game, didn't play in the G League, went back to the pros, and sat back down on the bench. If you want Bronny to develop as a player, him being on the bench in the NBA, it's not going to do that. What this guy needs is game reps in the G League. He needs to play road games, home games, be a G League player for at least a month, month and a half. The NBA right now, right on the bench, gets nothing from that.
Hands up!
Bronny James for 3.
If you told me 6 months ago, how would I ruin Bronny James' pro career, I would just kind of do what they've done so far. Declare for the draft when you're not ready, check. First home game with the Lakers, you're playing, go out there, be a make-a-wish kid, be a laughingstock, check. Go on the road trip, ride the bench, another check. Come back home, go to the G League, get 1 game in, play awful, check. Come back to the pros, don't play road games, don't get reps, get a rhythm. Also, a big check. Bronny right now has 1 foot in the NBA benchwarmer world and have his other foot in the G League. That's the biggest problem. This guy right now needs reps and needs to be playing basketball.
It's not complicated.
For people like Windhorst, the truth now and then, it will seep out. They'll have a genuine thought or genuine take. But a lot of times after that take, they'll fall right back in line, the mainstream narrative, the clutch sports narrative. And looking at Windhorst after these comments did just that.
What I said, and I'll say again, was that I am totally on board with the whole Bronny James thing with the Lakers. I think it was a smart move to draft him. I think it was a great move to bring him around the team because the 55th pick in the draft hits a single-digit percentage of the time. And if the Lakers can use the 55th pick on Bronny James and get a more engaged LeBron this year, I don't care if it's a single-digit percentage more engaged LeBron. It's a good investment.
Now, stopping Brian right there, almost a complete retraction revision of his original take. And his original take, nothing about it was wrong or inaccurate. The problem with his take is it was critical of Bronny James. Windhorst right here basically apologizing. It's at the best Rich Paul, LeBron James, and Clutch Sports. And he even goes one step further, laying it on thick, saying he's been on board since day one, been on board with everything. And Bronny being drafted, it's a good thing for him, the Lakers, the NBA, and most importantly, for LeBron James to, quote, engage LeBron. Now, that right there, funny for a couple reasons. First off, LeBron getting $50 million. I think being engaged is kind of part of the job. But also, once again, Bronny's career, it's tied to LeBron James and him being engaged. Whether it be Bronny James, Brian Windhorst, and the entire sports media, all these figures are pawns on the Clutch Sports chessboard. And for someone like Windhorst, being one of those pawns, if he gets out of line even a little bit, they can just kind of nudge him to the side or place him, because once again, he's a pawn and he's expendable.
As you know, Dan, you can say something for 3 minutes, 2 minutes, and then one paragraph gets pulled out, and it's like you lose all the context. That's reality.
I mean, think about that Brian Windhorst right here. He's deathly terrified of those contacts, those connections being snatched away from him. And think about it. Windhorst, since I would say day one of his media career, been loyal to LeBron James and LeBron's career. But make one offhand comment, one little critique of Bronny James, cut off just like that. For someone like Kendrick Perkins, almost the identical scenario. He made one minor critique of LeBron James being old, playing too long. Then LeBron, a couple days later, unfollowed Perkins. Perkins was out of the loop. And for Perkins, of course, he's a pawn, a stooge, kind of a useful idiot. But this guy for LeBron James, for 3, 4, even 5 years, loyal to him every day, in every debate. Makes one comment, goes against LeBron ever so slightly, cut off, banished, unfollowed. If you're not lockstep in line with Clutch Sports' their narrative, you're kicked to the curb and you're garbage.
Tuck him away.
I've said it 1,000 times by now, the Bronny James debacle isn't about Bronny or even basketball. But what it's about is a media takeover by LeBron James and Clutch Sports, hijacking the narrative and setting the standard for media coverage and media objectivity. If you control media, control the sports networks, in essence, you control the NBA. And like we see time and time again, Adam Silver, a weak leader. LeBron James, calculated, petty, manipulative, and will do anything to control that narrative. So, as always, thank you guys for watching. Hope you enjoyed it. I'll see you next time.